Hi, my name is Dominic Martin,
Hello, I'm Nicola.
Hi everyone, my name is Alex.
and welcome to
Before you say I do.
Before you say I do.
Before You Say I Do.
Hey you guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to another video. And again, I am always so excited, super excited. Yo, today we're doing one of my favorite topics, and today we're talking about expectations. Let me tell you, all of us, let's not pretend, all of us have our silent expectations when we're going into a relationship. But is that healthy? Should we have expectations, and what are healthy expectations to have? Let's talk with our favorite people. We have Alex and we have also Pastor Martin with us. Let's start with Pastor Martin. Tell us about expectations.
All right, thanks so much for throwing me in the fire and squad. But when we talking expectations here, uh, the argument could go broader because I think I mentioned in a previous video that there could be unrealistic expectations. So first, just to start it off, let me say what we should expect in a relationship, and we should expect to be treated with respect. We should expect that the person will show us love, um, and we also should expect that you have committed to be in this relationship for the long haul, right? So to me, those should be your main expectations that you have in a relationship.
Alrighty, lovely, good start. Alex, what are my expectations? What should they be when I'm entering into this relationship? And let me tell you, this guy I've met, I have expectations, but I wanna take it slow this time. So tell me, Alex.
Just to add up, I agree with everything that Pastor Martin has said, but just to add up, I think you should also expect change, growth. You both of you will grow, you will change. You'll need to learn to work with each other in that change. Um yeah, that's basically it for me.
If I could jump in, because Alex come in here and she say she would expect growth. What does that mean? And growth in what aspect of the relationship?
When I say growth, I mean it on several different levels. Spiritual growth, um, it could be growth in financial growth, your workforce, changing occupations, following your career. Um, we all know that being stagnant, it really does not work for anybody. To stay in the position you to begin a race and you're still at the beginning, the point of beginning, what's the sense of running the race, right? You need to move forward, and yeah, basically your partner needs to be able to adapt with you for with the changes of life.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. I really like that. Because why I ask that question, Nicola? Because sometimes persons have that type of expectation, but you never verbalize that to your spouse. So we have the spoken and the unspoken expectation. So you're hoping that I would grow, and I'll just use the aspect of the job. You're hoping that I would not stay in the same career. But what if I like this career? What if this career is where I see myself? And what if for me, it's a level of simplicity that I want? And I think that is where sometimes the conflict arise, where we come with unspoken expectations and expect our partner to fulfill those expectations even after we have never had a conversation concerning anything like that.
I love that. I love how you spoke about unspoken expectations. And when I started, I spoke about my silent expectations. And I probably would never verbalize to my partner. Some things we just feel like the person should know. I mean, like if I'm coming into a relationship with you, obviously I don't expect us to be at the same place in 5 years. And two, that brings me to the place. So what are other examples of unspoken expectations that you would find that's most common among people that are entering into a relationship? Any one of you could just jump in.
Let me start off. A lot of the times we expect our partners to have a knowledge of our how should I say it? How we want to be loved, how we want them to show love, and those type of things. Even for partners, well, in marriage, y'all share the same space. Remember, the two of you, y'all were not raised in the same household, so y'all were raised differently. So what your partner will call a clean house and what you would call a clean house, it's two different things. So you would have to verbalize that to your partner so that so the two of you will not end up clashing. That's just a few of the things that need to be spoken of.
Yeah, I would say anything could be an unspoken expectation, from how we manage the finances, to, as Alex said, how we love each other, to how we care for children, for whether we want children or not, our career path, the support that we need spiritually from each other. If those things are not really discussed, then you could find issues in any arena. What I think, and what I like to say, is that we should all throw away in those aspects our expectations and find. And when I say I mean as an individual. I should now take my expectations and my partner take her expectations, and we bring it together to be our expectations of each other, an agreed system in how we're going to operate. So it would not be fair for me to have a mindset in terms of what I expect from her if I have not verbalized that. And it would not be fair for her to have an expectation of me if she did not verbalize that. Therefore, we would both need to come together, flesh out those expectations. Sometimes even see where some of our expectations may be unrealistic or it doesn't mesh within the union that we are forming. Because some of us, because we grew up in a certain household, we have an expectation from our partner based on what we see our parents did, and that may not work in our relationship. So we now have to formulate our expectations where both parties know this is the code, this is what we have agreed upon. Therefore, we can now hold each other accountable based on these things. And not me coming in with my own mindset of what I think you should do, and you coming in with your mindset of what you think I should do. And then you vex with me for no reason. I didn't even know I didn't meet an unspoken expectation.
Alrighty, I love it. And I think that happens a lot in relationships generally. Even apart from relationships of marriage, you find that within friendships and stuff like that, people are not meeting your unspoken expectations. You're like, this person, she knows or he knows I don't like that, and they always do it and whatnot. But what about in a case where, for example, say we go to the same church, we socialize together. So for example, I would be like, I'm expecting this person to multiply, I want children. That's used as an example, because everybody's idea of whatever the Bible says in terms of multiplying may be different. So then, like, yeah, naturally we have the same beliefs. So that's not even something I'm gonna mention. In cases like that or different scenarios like that, are you saying everything should be verbalized, or are there things that are like the basic things? For example, like you mentioned love, you mentioned respect and those things. Are these things obvious and other things need to be verbalized, or does everything need to be put out on the table?
I would say need to verbalize everything. Communication is key. I don't want to assume that you know what's going on in my mind, because I cannot tell what's going on in your mind. even as you brought the example of love, Alex spoke to it so beautifully. She said that we love differently. So how one may show love may be different how the other may show it. And that's now the journey in coming together as one, is where we learn now how to amalgamate our lives, our expectations, our personality, our character together so that we can harmoniously work and move as one. So I think you should verbalize a couple getting into marriage, engagement, and even in the early stages and throughout your marriage, communication is key. Never leave it up and assume and say you're supposed to know that, because you'll realize that some people really don't know.
Lovely. Let's speak about, you mentioned, and that's for both of you. You spoke about realistic and unrealistic expectations. So some of the things that we would have mentioned would be realistic expectations in terms of love and respect and all of that. But then an unrealistic expectation, whilst it may not be a bad expectation, could, how would you identify an unrealistic expectation? Because, for example, you brought up the topic of the person being comfortable being, say, a line staff. And you marry this person, you see the potential of a manager, and you're like, yeah, I'm marrying this man and I'm making him a manager. I'm going to support him till he gets there. But the guy is not interested in that, but that's your expectation. Is that an unrealistic expectation, or is it like a bad expectation? How do you differentiate between what's bad and unrealistic and what's realistic? Let's start with you, Alex.
To me, an unrealistic expectation would be one that may not necessarily have a positive effect on your life. For instance, a man may expect his wife to forever have that figure that he met her with. And just like we touched on the last thing, we said that the woman's body is not going to remain the same forever. With children, you end up getting stretch marks and gain weight, and the man himself, he doesn't remain the perfect guy himself. Some suffer from loss of hair. Some have some bellies that don't really necessarily go away. For just like for a man, the woman gaining weight might be an eyesore, and for the woman, the husband losing hair might be an eyesore. So that in itself, thinking that your partner would remain with the same way you met him or her is definitely unrealistic. You're being unrealistic, and if you remain in that state, you definitely that may definitely impact your relationship in a bad way. May have a negative impact on your relationship. So I believe that unrealistic things do, like, why am I forgetting my words? Yes, when it's unrealistic, it's like it definitely has a negative impact on your life and on the relationship itself.
Lovely. So, Alex, you spoke to unrealistic expectations. Pastor Martin?
Yeah, I would say let me use the flip side of it. So I would say probably a woman saying, "Listen, I need a man to pay all the bills, provide for me in every aspect of the way. We need to be going on trips, vacations, and that type of stuff." And we're talking about more on the high maintenance side, but the person that you have chose to pair yourself with doesn't make that type of money, yet you have the expectation of this type of lifestyle. I'm saying that's an unrealistic expectation, right? Another one, with both genders, we want no conflict at all. We don't want any conflict. We want someone probably like a robot that will just fit our perfect mold. We don't want to make any type of compromise. So the moment we see probably something that looks like outside of the mold that we have, we run, not recognizing that our relationship takes work, that you have to build it. So I would say another unrealistic expectation is thinking that you will never have any type of disagreement in your relationship. And you now set in your mind that, listen, I'm not willing to deal with that. That's very unrealistic. Another one that comes to mind as well is an unrealistic expectation that sometimes many persons have, is not believing someone when they tell you who they are. So you may want to get married, and this person may tell you several times, listen, I don't want to get married. I'm just going to do this because of you. Then don't expect them to be a husband or a wife when they get married to you, because they told you who they were from the beginning. Another one may be that you may have stolen or taken someone away from somebody else, and you were comfortable with them snooping around with you, and then in your relationship you expect them to be faithful. I'm saying you're being unrealistic. When someone tells you who they are, believe them.
This is awesome. This is it, y'all. I'm not taking this video any further. This is it. This is amazing information. If you have more to add, please feel free to do that now, and then we're gonna bring an end to the expectations.
I just want to touch on something a little bit. Pastor Martin said that when people show you who they are, believe them. A lot of us, we begin a relationship, we begin dating and we see certain characteristics in somebody. We actually see the rights and everything. And then we decide, you know what, after marriage, that person is going to change. That person is not going to change. That is who they are. That is who they might always be. That person is not going to change. So stop trying to think like for once you could change somebody into something different.
I mean, like a while ago, you tell me I should expect change, and now you're telling me that the person is not going. You have me all over the place, yo. By the time I find this guy, I'll be more confused. No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Some behaviors, I think, like it's for some women, we always believe we could change the guy. I don't know if men feel that way, but I always believe that we could change the guy, we could make him better, we could, all of my need is a good woman by his side. I tell you, I always say I'm not that lucky. If he hasn't changed before, he's not gonna change for me. I don't gamble that way. But you guys, viewers, let me know what y'all think. Let me know. Put that down in the comment section. And we're just gonna give them a few seconds. Alex and Pastor Martin, just gonna give them a few seconds just to like this video, to subscribe, to hit that notification bell. Just a few seconds. Right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Do the good stuff. Share, like, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we were here and we have some good information to share. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye.